rotation staff theories?
Yeah, we're definitely not the normal, starter goes 7, closer comes in. We're definitely not traditional, but, everybody has their own role, and we just work together, and we all know our job, and we know what our number's called. Do your job, and if not, somebody's right there behind you that's just as good,
Why do you think it works so well? A guy like you probably knew you were going to throw 100 pitches or whatever in that vicinity today. I mean, why do you think it works so well to have you come out of the pen instead of start the game?
I honestly have no idea. They didn't name the starter for a while, and I was hoping maybe they would go with me, but I was like, I know they won't, but I knew I would get the ball at some point in time, whether it was the 2nd, 3rd, 7th inning. I knew I was pitching sometime tonight, and so you just always have to stay locked in. And luckily, I got it pretty early, and I got on a roll.
Chad, did you feel like, you said up there, you felt like maybe you were going to have to work backwards early on? I mean, it just seemed like, but it seemed like later on in the game you were burying that slider and getting a lot of swing and miss.
Right at the beginning, the umpire had us tight strike zone, and I'm not blaming that at all. I just couldn't get it in there for a strike, and they were holding their ground. I had a couple of HBPs with the slider, and I think they knew that the slider was coming, and they just would stick their knee out and, take their free base, which is my fault. And so then we started kind of dumping one on the outside corner, where they'd lean out and trying to dump it in there for a strike, a little backdoor. And that started working for me because they would give up on it and they would go into the zone. But, I just had to basically get in the strike zone, and when I first came in, I was not in the strike zone.
You may have already been asked this, but the last 3 outings for you have been really good. Just what do you think has been different in the last 3 times?
I got stretched out some, and I can finally kind of get in a groove and roll. And I've been able to throw most of my pitches for strikes. Tonight I had trouble at the beginning, like I said, with my slider, but then I kind of got in the zone, and I think putting the slider in the zone is my biggest kind of elephant in the room right now.
Did you feel like you kind of settled down after you gave up, when you came in, you gave up the 2 runs or the 1 run and a couple of base hits? Do you feel like you settled down, that kind of propelled you for the rest of the outing?
Yeah, I was maybe a little amped up, and I came in and, took a breather in between innings, and Coach T said, just settle in, you're going to finish this thing. So, I knew he hadn't gave up on me, so I was like, took a deep breath and settled in and started cruising.
Chad, go ahead.
You talked